Yo, so this chapter of Kingdom, chapter 533. That is right, the chapter is officially out, guys. So if you haven't read it yet, go ahead and check out the chapter and then come back to this video, because today is going to be my review of chapter 533 of Kingdom, titled Lost Morale. I'm so glad Kingdom is back, man. Anyways, let's get started with the review. So, Moten in this chapter of Kingdom. Every time I see Moten in a chapter of Kingdom, I'm loving the man more and more. Because every time you see Moten in Kingdom, he's always doing something. He's always thinking 2 steps ahead of the game. Just the way on how he strategizes and deals with certain circumstances and certain situations. And even in, like, the heat of battle, like, it's just, like, awesome how he goes about it. Like, this guy is going to be the next big strategist. I mean, he already is one in the technical sense, but, I mean, when he eventually does become, like, a great general, I mean, it has to happen at some point, right? Unless if Moten suddenly dies, like, in, you know, something chapter of Kingdom. I mean, we have no idea if he's going to even live through the end of Kingdom. I mean, Kingdom still has a long way to go before it's finished, but if he does become, you know, a great general, his name is going to be known throughout Kingdoms, and might even be on par with Readthrough in this case. Like, I'm just saying, because the guy, his strategy is awesome. Strategy is awesome. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that Moten could possibly get on the same level as Readthrough, or maybe even Osen for that matter? I mean, time and again, like, he is really showing what he can do. And I mean, the guy is still young, so I mean, just imagine what he'll be like in years to come. So I don't know, let me know in the comments. Can you see Moten as being like a better strategist than Readthrough, or maybe even Osen? Let me know in the comments. Now, this chapter of Kingdom was very, very simple. Very simple indeed. The title of this chapter is titled Lost Morale. And by the end of the chapter, Moten, by simply doing the actions that he did within this chapter, he gained the MAKOU army's morale back. They completely just regained it. They still have the will to fight. As we know from the previous chapters of Kingdom, the MAKOU army was becoming diminished because MAKOU died. His head got cleaved off, and the armies started to diminish. And it was even stated in this chapter of Kingdom that the MAKOU army had no idea what to do. They've been trying to fight back the Zhao forces, however their numbers just keep on dwindling and dwindling because mostly they just can't think of what to do next. They lost most of their tacticians, so they're just being pushed back and pushed back, and honestly most of them lost all hope. But again, that is until Moten arrives and completely changes the circumstances of the battlefield. There are 2 things in this chapter of Kingdom that Moten does in order to regain the will of the MAKOU army back. Remember when I stated that Moten actually did 2 things in this chapter to regain the will of the MAKOU army? I lied, I actually meant 3. There's 3 things that Moten did in this chapter of Kingdom, so just for clarification there. And the first thing that he simply does is tell all of the forces within the MAKOU army that MAKOU is still alive and kicking. Now, obviously, this is a lie. You even have some of the MAKOU army forces saying that, no, that's impossible. I saw his head get completely cleaved off with my very own eyes. So, you have it to where there are some people in the MAKOU army that, you know, accept that their leader is still alive, but then there is also people in the MAKOU army who have seen MAKOU actually die off and get his head completely chopped off and call whoever is delivering the message a liar. So this technically doesn't raise the morale in a sense, which Moten stated. If anything, it gets them up and at 'em to look around the battlefield to see if MAKOU is still alive, and by getting them up, this is also getting them back on track to fight. The second thing that Moten did in this chapter of Kingdom was that he went about to try to get 2 rallying points set up that could help the MAKOU army regain back, you know, their will to fight. And he does this with the help of the He-Shin unit, as well as Riku-sen, I believe was one of the commander's names. Apparently, this is what he said. The rallying point doesn't reside within my unit, nor does it rely on Shin's unit, but instead we are going to set a rallying point on the MAKOU army's banner, their flags. And basically what this is to do, once they can get these flags back up, this will then in turn send a message to the back of the MAKOU army, or those, you know, who are obviously not near, you know, MAKOU's vicinity, that it's going to tell them that the leader is still alive, and this will eventually get those back up to fight as well. So basically what Moten is doing here, he's trying to gain motivation back on the MAKOU army from each and every angle, because you can't just have one section of the army dwindle as the other is completely, you know, motivated to fight again. You have to get the whole army rejuvenated and revived, in a sense, in order to continue on fighting. They're going to need as many forces as they can, and to do that, they're going to have to lie a bit. Now, the third thing that Moten does in this chapter of Kingdom is that he tells one of the MAKOU commanders, or, you know, one of the upper officers, that there has to be some type of catchphrase that MAKOU, you know, deliver to all of you day in and day out on the battlefield, even when you were on your last breath, when you thought that you just could not fight any longer. And that is when the upper officer of the MAKOU army says, there is one thing. He simply said 2 words. Stand and fight. Well, technically that's 3 words, but you get my point. Stand and fight, okay? And I was like, yo! So that part of the chapter I thought was probably the hypest part of the whole chapter, because it was just awesome to see that. And once you have the officer state that to the whole army, and they eventually say, yo, MAKOU is still alive, because that is the only thing that would actually get them to know for sure if MAKOU was alive. And once everyone heard that, with the help of Moten, you know, him getting up the banners, the He-Shin unit pushing back, you know, the Zhao forces, you know, helping them alongside, you know, the battlefield, and also just telling that little white lie, you know, while it is, you know, kind of scummy in a sense to tell everyone that their leader is dead, it's the only, or is alive, excuse me, when he is actually dead. It is the only way to actually get them back up and to fight once again. So, you know, and also to save their lives, you know. So, just seeing how drastic the situation became between Zhao and the MAKOU army, and how quickly Moten changed the circumstance of that fight. It even has Riboku at the end of the chapter on edge. So I was like, yo. So that about does it for my chapter review of Kingdom, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys thought about this chapter. I thought it was a pretty sick chapter, and just seeing the drastic change, you know, in this chapter was just, it was awesome to see, really. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing if you want to see more. That about does it for this one. See you later.